So my dad was born in 1964 in Guatemala City, Guatemala. He actually grew up in a really poor area of the neighborhood where he grew up. So as a result, he actually didn't have like a lot of education. He actually stopped going to school after 6th grade. Before he came to the United States, his parents, since they grew up very poor and didn't have a lot of privilege, they depended a lot on their children, even as children, to help them earn money. My grandfather was actually a huge smoker and drank a lot, so as a result, he and his siblings were abused a lot by both parents, actually. There's a couple instances where I would hear certain stories that he would actually get like choked. He would get hit with like broomsticks from my grandmother. He would get called lots of names, so there was a lot of verbal and physical abuse that happened in the house. And it was kind of, to them it was like somewhat normal because it was a way on how to discipline their kids and everything. So his parents never really saw an issue with it, and to him it became his normal just to kind of see that every day and to experience that every day. So my father actually came here when he was 18 years old to the United States, and he met my mother when he was about 25. He was here already a couple years, and he fell in love with her and they got married. In the first years of their marriage, my mom actually told me that he, actually even before that, when they were dating, he had a lot of self-esteem issues and he would put himself down a lot, so she found herself really reassuring him. There's also a lot of instances where if there was some type of failure that happened in the family, or if he felt like he wasn't enough, he would really blame himself. And so there was a lot of struggle there in their marriage for the first couple years with that, with her just reassuring who he was and telling him that he was important, that he was a good father, that he was a good husband, and everything like that. This also, I guess, in a sense, affected how he raised me and how he raised my siblings. Although my father was a huge joker, he had his moments where he was very short-tempered and very stern with us. So if the answer was like, we would go to him and ask him, like, can I go here? No. And we wouldn't ask any more questions because we knew better. Also, he grew up with like 3 other siblings. So his sister actually, as a result actually of that abuse, she's very, very protective of my cousins. And what ends up happening is she's in a sense scared of like what the world is going to do to her children. And as a result, she kind of has this like grip on them and does not let them do, just simple things that they'll ask her, she'll say no. She's very fearful of like, my cousin going into the car like with me, and if there's another guy that she doesn't know, she, in a sense, when we invite her to family events, she's so afraid of like everything that she doesn't go or she cancels. So there's kind of that effect on her as well. And it's caused actually a lot of friction on my dad's side of the family. A lot of the siblings don't get along. As they were older, there was a lot of times where like, they would just argue a lot, or they would just stop talking to each other completely if they were upset with each other. And that in a sense also affected my father because he really wanted to keep the family together, but it's a little hard.